Hello and welcome to Divi Engine. My name's Dave. In this video I want to go through the Divi Nitro, show you how it works. So here's my test site. If you've watched another video I did on Mega Menu, I was using that here. Now I have already installed Divi Nitro. If you want to know how to install this plugin, you're going to have to look on our YouTube channel where this video is, and you'll find a video to show you how to do that. So I've installed it and I've added my license key. So here on the left, Divi Engine, I scroll, there's the Nitro. Okay, so you can see over here there's Nitro settings, Nitro license, NitroMinify. Nitro license, obviously where the Nitro license is. Let's go to Nitro settings. So I would start off here. Now the thing with Divi Nitro, oh yes, before I mentioned, you must make sure that you turn off all caching plugins. Let's go to my plugins, and also the Divi CSS static file generation. So I have no caching plugin here. Make sure you deactivate it, and also Divi theme options and builder advanced. Make sure this is disabled, otherwise it can cause problems. While building a website, turn off all caching. It's even worthwhile to refresh the caching on your browser. Okay, so Nitro settings. Now, Divi Nitro is really powerful, and it can reduce the loading speed of your website quite dramatically. But with each section that you enable, you must go and make sure that nothing breaks on the website, because what Divi Nitro does is it minimizes, compresses, and defers all sorts of data. When that happens, it can cause problems. For instance, I was working on this one site, and I used Divi Nitro, and I minified, deferred, and combined JavaScript, which stopped the menu working. And then my menu didn't work, and I was like, why is my menu not working? And I found out it was because Divi Nitro had reduced that, so I had to then not minify, defer, and combine that, and then it worked. I'll show you how to do that. So with each thing that you click, make sure you go check that your site is working. That's why you also, another reason why you want to disable all caching. So let's start off defer images. I would suggest you enable, see there's disable, enable, save changes. I suggest that you defer all images on the site. Go to your site. Where's my site? And here's my site. And I go through and make sure that everything looks good. And so on and so on. Excuse how ugly the site looks. I'd use this when I was showing how Divi Mega Menu works. Okay, next thing, defer background images. Again, I suggest you do this. I suggest you first try defer all, scroll down to the bottom and click save. If a particular image breaks, then you're going to have to come back, disable, and then work through these ones. If you need help here, please contact us on our support. So I've enabled it, saved it. I think I did save it. Yes, and then go back to my site. Press Control F5. Control F5 gives a hard refresh, and everything's looking good. Then I keep going. HT access, enable. I would suggest you actually just enable all of these. Go and see, and if something breaks, you can come back and then unclick these and see what works. Control F5, reloading my page. Hard refresh, everything looks good. And you keep going just like that. Defer YouTube videos. It's actually already enabled. The autoplay, you can enable the loop. And yeah, you can do these. Normally, I actually just leave it on default. And then other speed options. Now these ones, again, I will go through and I will actually just enable all of them, unless some of them you're using. For instance, WordPress emojis, yeah, all sorts of things here. I would just enable all of these, to be honest. And then if something breaks, you can then go back and unclick them and figure out which one is causing the problem, and then you just need to disable whichever one is causing the problem. Reload. Using Divi Nitro, there's so many options that it can be overwhelming. The trick is to just work on it and try one thing, change it, tweak it until you get your site loading quickly. So you just have to, as it were, play around. It's like Lego. You have to practice putting all the blocks together and then you'll figure it out. With these, I have found with building sites that these 4 options here, you can basically enable most things here and your site will be fine. There won't be any problems. The real issue comes in when you use, which I'm going to do next, is the NitroMinify. This is where it can cause problems when you're doing the JavaScript. It can stop functionality in the website. So I would start off here. Once you're done there, everything's looking good, great. You then come to where did I go? I went NitroMinify. Click on that. You're going to see this page. First thing you want to do is enable help on front end. Scroll down, click save. Now what this does, you then go to the front end of your site, and I'm going to move this up a little bit. You click Control F5, hard refresh, and you'll see up here says NitroMinify. When you click that, it shows you all of the CSS and JavaScript that you can work with. Now, the obvious green is JavaScript. The blue is CSS. I would suggest you start with CSS because when you work with the CSS, it's the safest one. So start off there. Highlight the ones that are inside of these 2 lines first. So come on, go away. So start off here. Highlight all of these ones that are inside these 2 lines. Copy them. Go back. Now, if you scroll down, you can see it says CSS minification. Click Enable, and this will pop up. Copy and paste that in there. Click Save Changes. When you click Save Changes, what you'll see here is all that CSS inside there. After clicking Save, and inside here you've got all your CSS, you want to go back and click your NitroMinify, and here you can see the CSS which has been minified. Make your site run quicker. Right, let's now go and make sure everything looks good on our site. So let's just take a look at our site, and you want to go through and make sure all your images, your style is there. Because remember, CSS is the code language that gives a website style, color, all sorts of things. So make sure it all looks good. If it's looking good, then you're ready to go. If you scroll up, you can see it says JavaScript minification. This is where your site can get broken if you're not careful. Enable that. Now we need to go grab some JavaScript, which will be where it ends with JS and the rest of these green ones. So let's highlight these green ones. Go back, dump them in here, and save changes. There you'll see all the JavaScript. Go back, reload, and you'll see that JavaScript has been worked on. You'll see it there. Okay, now you want to go back to your site and to basically make sure everything works. So go through and check your contact forms, check your, for instance, if I inspect and I look at, if I inspect this and I take a look at the mobile view, does this drop down work? Yes, it is. Great. So make sure that your drop down is working. Now actually I can see a bit of a problem here. Yeah, see, it's not working. Okay, so there's a classic example of how the JavaScript can cause you issues. So what I would suggest, it's probably coming from something, it's probably coming from this Divi custom script. So let's just take that out for a second. Let's save it. Now if I go back to my site, I reload. There you go, now it's working. Did you see that? So what I had done is I had minified this I'd minified this Divi custom script, and the Divi custom script was making this drop down work, and so then it didn't work, and then so I just took it out of here, and now it's working. So that's the thing with the minify, is that you got to play around and find out which works for your site. But overall, your site speed will decrease by a good few seconds, which will make viewers enjoy your site. Okay, I hope you found this helpful. It's just a quick look into how the Divi Nitro works. Like with everything in life, the things which are worth the most take the most amount of work. Like relationships, right? So when it comes to our plugins, they really are great. We love them. But some of them, for instance, the Nitro body commerce in particular, do take a bit of work. But as you figure it out, and as you grow in being a web developer, you will see how amazing they are and how they can really help your website. So we're here to support you. Please get in touch with us. We'd love to support you. Have a fantastic day.